Never let nobody tell you you can't do something. And never let anybody make fun of you for enjoying the things that you enjoy. Because what's the point of living life if you can't unironically be enthusiastic? It's one of my favorite lessons I ever learned from the Vlogbrothers. It was one, I look up to John Green quite a bit. I love John Green, as a writer and as a personality and everything. I think he's amazing. That's a trick right there. That's a trick. But he said something once, and he was like, my brother and I celebrate unironic enthusiasm. Fuck, wait, was I already here? Get... Sorry, I'm not talking! Yes! I am in college. You don't see me acting like it. Dude, it sucks to me how young I appear to people. But it's like, it's so weird. Because I'm about to be super honest about something right now, and it's probably going to make me sound like super innocent. But I'm just genuinely fucking confused about it. It's like, I don't think much of myself appearance-wise. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm attractive, but like, I don't know. I just have never really felt that way. But I know that if and when I ever receive compliments, it's always people saying that I'm cute. Because, you know, I'm really young in appearance, and people assume I'm really innocent just because I'm nice. I don't know why nice is synonymous with innocent, by the way. Like, I gotta be an asshole to be acting my age? That doesn't make sense to me. Please don't hit me. Stop it. Ow, fucking, these things still hit hard. But I also sometimes get fucking catcalled and shit. You know? It's like, it kinda happens a lot. And so I'm like, well, I mean, I guess that must mean that people think I'm attractive, even if they're showing it in a weird and pervy and kind of aggressive way. Then I get hit on and stuff like that. So I'm like, and I'm just like, it's so funny because I know that's like part of my natural innocence or whatever. That I'm just like, I am genuinely confused anytime I am approached by a man because I'm like, what? Why? I'm just like, I don't know. People have always perceived me as really young and as really innocent and like, oh, she's adorable, she's super cute. But then, like, a guy walked up to me and he was like, you're beautiful. And I was like, I have literally never heard that from anyone before. Really? It's like, I always get cute. Or, she's pretty, you know? Like, she's pretty, she's cute. Which are compliments, yes, but they mean a different kind of attraction. Attractive love, attractive whatever. But I did have a stranger ask me if I needed a ride. I don't do anything either. Like, I'm just walking. And I always wear a tank top and pants. It's 100% my outfit. That is what I am always wearing 100% of the time. That's true. And it's like, I don't know. I get confused because I'm just like, huh? Like, I get catcalled. I'm like, I am doing fucking nothing. I'm just hanging out. And a lot of the time, I'm confused for a boy because I have a short haircut. I'm surprised when people think I'm older than 15, but I'm 20. I am also 20, and I am totally used to people being like, shouldn't you be in school? Or whatever. I'm like, I'm in college. I go to school whenever the fuck I say I go to school. But it's like, I don't know. You know, it's weird. And it's like, I'm 20, and I'm still not used to, like, the idea of people perceiving me as attractive or calling me beautiful or whatever. They're like, I think you're beautiful. Not just, I think you're cute. I think you're adorable, which is associated with the young or whatever. People's like, I think you're beautiful. Whenever I get catcalled or whenever people, like, it's just like, I'm, like, not really even walking around just because I'm talking. But it's like, I don't know. It's weird, and I wonder if that is part of my perception of myself, or it's a delayed part of getting older that I didn't experience in high school when I probably should have, because I'm a late bloomer, like I'm a really late bloomer. Only recently did I start having like a womanly type body at all. Like, I've got fucking size B boobs, so that ain't part of the shape. I'm talking about just the rest of it. But it's like, I hit on Pilot. I don't get hit on though. I can't have audio because I'm at work. Yeah, K is extremely flirtatious. Flirted with was during summer camp, and yeah, right. Like, you're confused. You're just like, what's happening? What are you doing? I was just really confused when I was approached in like a sexual way for the first time. Like, a guy was like, "Hey, baby, you want to get out of here or whatever?" I'm like, "Fucking go where?" I'm like, what? And I was like, oh, no, fucking A, no to you, specifically, no to you. B, I'm not that kind of person. C, fucking, that is not how you ask people to do anything. Thank you very much. I want the heater boom. Do I have everything? Yes, I do. Boop, boop. Let's go check out this fucking dungeon. It's an interesting thing. It's an interesting aspect of getting older, and it's very weird. It's very weird to all at once be presented with this entirely different aspect of life that hadn't necessarily... Because, I mean, there are the creeps who hit on kids. Like, that's weird. And then you do have the people your own age who are approaching you. It was at my sister's play. The guy was wearing a martial arts uniform and experiences similar... Yeah, it's just like, what? And it's like all at once you're approached with this totally different aspect of the way people view you, and you're kind of faced with the sudden realization that you are not being taken for what you are at first glance. You are taken for how you look and how you appear to people, and whether or not you appear attractive to these people. And that's kind of a stunning realization. That's like, oh, okay. You know, these people don't know anything about me. They're forming a opinion on me based on whether or not I am appealing to them specifically and their specific opinions and desires or whatever. And you're just kind of like, huh. And then you see people, when they form a positive thing with you, they're like, I think she's attractive. I would like to go talk to her, or whatever. Then you're just kind of like, It instantly feels shallow, because you are making this decision based on something that, in my opinion, hasn't even occurred to me, and certainly doesn't matter to me. You know? It just doesn't... It was my own age, but I was like, this is bad. Yeah. I get you, bro. Like, it instantly feels shallow, and then also at the same time, you can't instantly write off of a person who's approaching you based on attraction, because attraction can come on a lot of different levels, and does not necessarily is like 100% based on your appearance. It's like, yeah, they are attracted to you, but a lot of the time you're attracted to more in a person than... Okay, let's say I saw a really hot guy, and he's just like, this guy's fucking hot, or a hot lady, you know, whichever, whatever, but they are super attractive, but let's say they are... I'm trying to pick a thing. What would be a turnoff? Let's say I was like, yeah, this is an extremely attractive person, but I just saw him be a tad shitty to that waiter. It's just like, yeah, you're attractive. That is not nearly enough to make me talk to you, because I formulated my own opinion based on what limited version of your personality I was presented with, and I didn't like it, so I'm not going to go for it. But let's say I see a really hot guy. He's got traits that I like. You know, he's kind of like a dark-skinned guy. This thing is creepy. He's got like a pickaxe. It's like a dark-skinned guy, like, you know, he's hanging out. And let's say he's just, like, he's sketching, he's drawing, or he's listening to music, or he's got kind of a... You can get an aura off people. You're like, yeah, this is a really pleasant this seems like a pleasant person, and they're also really attractive. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna talk to them. And like, maybe you do, because there's more based in the attraction than they're physically attractive. It's just like, he's got a kind face, he has kind eyes, he looks like he smiles a lot, he looks like he laughs a lot. And so, but like, when people are approaching you, you do instantly have to wonder, is this, so do you just think I'm attractive and that's why you're talking to me, or were you attracted to me? Like, were you attracted to me for more than just a single reason? And what were those reasons? I'm curious. Like, what made me of interest to you? So it adds this entire layer, fucking aspect to interactions that you just straight up didn't have before. It's a very weird, jarring part of getting older. Definitely, absolutely. And as a late bloomer, it didn't really happen until I was like 18, as opposed to it mostly happens for girls. I'd say 16. It's a very intriguing and like dogging part. And it's like in my personal I think those light I was gonna hit them, but I think they might light me on fire. My personal experience, my first very serious relationship happened effortlessly and happened very naturally. It was my best friend. We had been really close friends for like 8 years, best friends for a couple of years, and so it was a very natural thing that just happened. I think I totally backtracked because I think that stairway folds back on itself. I need to get to the fucking thing. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so like it happened really naturally, so now I am presented in a situation where I am single. I don't want to be single. I don't. There is a guy that I'm interested in, like super interested in, and actually really, really like. But, you know, he doesn't fucking live here. So I can't do nothing with that. So it's just like, it sucks that I'm like, oh yeah, the first person I actually clicked with after exiting this really long-term relationship is not, I mean, you can't even technically view it as like a viable option because he lives in a fucking different country. So like, oh, that sucks. But, and it's just like, it's presented to me with this thing of like, I don't want to be alone and I am lonely, but I am no longer in high school. You're no longer in a fishbowl. You're not in this extremely contained situation where you can meet people. I am in college, but I am not on campus that much. I'm only on campus for... What? Where am I? I'm only on campus for my direct classes. You know? Oh! I want to go the other way now. So it's harder to meet people. It's harder to... Whoa! Okay, you can go through pillars. Alright. Wow. That I used to have a crush on, and he's cuter than I remembered, and I just kind of went, well, fuck. Yeah, dude, that happens with crushes. But it's like, you're not in this fishbowl. You're not in this, like, miraculously contained situation where you can just meet people and form connections and fucking whatnot. So it's harder. And it's like, I'm only 20. I'm sure I'll meet someone fucking eventually. But it's like, it's not like I'm 40 and I'm afraid of dying alone. But it's like, you're just presented with this weird situation of like, I'm lonely. And I know that it is 100% expected of me to fix me being lonely, but I don't know who to talk to, where... My last crush said that I was too black for him. Well, then he can go fuck himself and die in a hole. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Dude, don't waste your time on fucks like that. Who needs that guy? It must have really hurt, though, to like... God, what the fuck? Yeah, fuck that guy. It's really dumb. But yeah, it's like, it's weird. Like, I'm single and I'm lonely. But I'm awkward and I don't know how to meet people. And I don't know how to form connections with people. I'm naturally incredibly flirtatious, as I have found out. But it's like, I don't know. I have very particular things that I realize would make me difficult to date for some people. I am not going to go into the details, but I'm really uncomfortable with the idea of sex and really for personal reasons. Like, I think I've mentioned it once on my blog, kind of vaguely, but it's not, I don't know, it's not really public information. It doesn't need to be. But it's, I have very good reasons for being uncomfortable with that. And I was with someone I really trusted for 2 years, and we never did, just because I'm like, I trusted him with my life and with so much, but it's like, you can't really expect someone to get over stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know. I do get worried that I'm ever going to find someone who understands that problem and who's going to be okay with that. Because it's like, I still would love you, and I was still I would do everything I could to satisfy whatever you need, whatever needs to be done, but it's just like, I don't want that to be the deal breaker. And for a lot of people it is, because people are like, well, a physical relationship is a huge part of the relationship, and I'm like, I guess. But if that's not something that, like, I'm willing to compromise on. And if you're not willing to compromise on it either, it's like, I shouldn't have to. You know? It's like, that's my reasoning, and I don't know if that's selfish or whatever, but I'm like, I shouldn't have to. I'm really uncomfortable with it for very, very good reasons. So it's like, is it a booby trap? Is that what that is? Or is there an enemy? Okay, that's a booby trap. I love Kay. And Kay has had no small part in restoring my confidence or whatever, because Kay flirts with me every fucking day. And, honestly, you can only get so many pickup lines before you're like, no. Before it's like, you only get so many good morning, good nights, and I think you're beautiful before you're like, oh, thank you. And it does help. It's like, I love Kay for that. Kay's amazing. Ow! Fucking booby traps. Can I break these? Trying to find the way out. I keep getting turned around. And I'm not interested in anyone nowadays, so I just sort of worry. That is okay. I mean, you shouldn't have to compromise on that. Yeah. It's like, I don't think I should have to. I don't think I should have to. And one thing I really respected about the person I'm no longer in a relationship with is that he didn't push for it. And that was not the reason that we were no longer together. And, like, I might have had my, like, I'm like, oh, is that why he left? And I'm like, no. It's like, there was a bunch of other reasons and stuff. Yeah, like, there was a lot that came into play, but that wasn't the thing. That wasn't the deal breaker. And that's what I really respected about him, and I respected about his decision to break it off. Well, it was kind of like a mutual thing. He was like, we should take a break, and I'm like, no, we should break up. And he's like, okay, that's fair. And then we did. But I really respected him for that, and I still respect him, and I have a very high opinion of him, and I do wish him all the best. We talk from time to time, just kind of catch up, see how the other is doing. Fucking lost. At least I'm talking about something interesting to keep it going. But, and so it does give me hope that I'm like, if that's not the reason that this ended, then maybe I can have a relationship. Oh, I'm almost dead. Wow. I totally didn't notice that my health was that low. You should understand the insecurity over that kind of thing, though. Yeah, it's like, I'm insecure over it because I'm worried that it's going to be a factor. But I have enough self-confidence to know that I shouldn't have to compromise, and I'm not going to, because it's my right after going through all of the things that I have personally, to choose what I am and am not comfortable with. Sorry, focusing on the pig. We'll continue Fieldsy conversation about self-worth and happiness and love and relationships in a second. No! But, I hope I'll be in love again. Being in love is something really special. It's really, really good. It's... Nothing makes you feel more alive than that, to be completely honest. And one of my favorite quotes that I've heard recently is, find a person to love you without reason, and then shower that person with reasons. That is true happiness. I love that. I love that, the idea. It's like, never settle for toxic relationships. Never settle for people who guilt trip you, who use manipulative language, who, expect more for you than is fair. But also, please understand that there is no aspect of a relationship that isn't compromised. You hear a lot of the time, you should never change who you are for another person. Ever, ever, ever. That's partially true. That is partially true. You should never change fundamentally who you are for another person, but against your will. Do you know what I mean? Against your will. You should never be like, I love fucking, I don't know, fishing. Fishing's your thing. Fishing is your thing. It gives you peace. It's your time alone, and it's where you get your space. But your spouse fucking hates, your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever fucking hates that you go fishing all the time. I want you to be here with me. I'm lonely. You're leaving me alone. This kind of thing. That's manipulative language. That's guilt-tripping language, type of thing. And so, you say, I shouldn't have changed who I am fundamentally as a person for this person who I am with. And you're right by saying that, but you should also be considerate, and there is no aspect of a relationship that is not based in compromise. Oh, that's a good quote. And the thing is, if at that point you choose to be like, you're like, fine, I won't go fishing anymore, that builds resentment. And resentment is the beginning of the end of a relationship. Absolutely 100%. Is like, because you blame this person for taking something away from you. And there is no aspect of love that should be about someone taking something away from you. However, let's say you love fishing, fishing is your piece, fishing is your thing. Your boyfriend or girlfriend knows that. They know that you find peace. They know that you find peace through that. And so they say, I just wish that maybe you didn't do it so often, because it's like, I do miss you. I would like to be able to spend more time with you. Let's say your time that you can go fishing typically clashes and coincides with the time that your significant other is off of work or whatever, and they would like to be able to spend that time with you. And so you do not have to change fundamentally that part of your person and part what you do, but you do compromise. And you said, okay, I know you don't like me fishing because you miss me. Fishing is important to me, and I would like to continue fishing, but I'm going to make an effort to try and not fish on days where we both have days off, so that way I can spend that day with you, and I will instead mostly confine my fishing to the days where we wouldn't have been able to be together anyways, and then I can go whatever. And then they will thank you for that. They will appreciate and remember that you compromised for them on this thing because you love them and because you care about them. It's like, you always hear the thing, never ever change who you are for another person. But when you really, really love a person, you're willing to make changes and compromise things because you are completely in love with that person and you love that person and you want them to be happy. And if you find someone who you could call your best friend, who makes you laugh, who makes you feel safe, who protects you, who compromises, who understands the things that you are passionate about, and even if they are not passionate about the same things, can appreciate the fact that you are passionate about those things and supports you in those ways, and is able to compromise for you even if you were the most different people in the world, even if you're the absolute fucking, oh, you're so goddamn different. You don't, like, do any of the same shit. But as long as you compromise to find space for each other within those things, and those things do not create a rift between you because they're, like, so fundamentally different or whatever, marry that goddamn person. Do it. Because you will be happy. Because so long as people make time for you and try and understand you and the things that you love, they don't also have to love those things. You don't have to like the same things. They have to understand why you like those things and be respectful of the fact that you like those things. And if you find that person, marry the shit out of them. Who am I now in this world without her? Petty and dull with the nerve to doubt her. What does it matter? It's already done. Now I've got to be there for her. So fucking Jesus. God, you are scary. Jesus, you are one of the more... Oh, come on! Can't do my homework. My book is out. Is not here. To hell with Algebra 2, I guess. Dude, it's beginning of the year. I would say start strong, but really, it's like you can make up for mistakes you make now, so whatever. I'm a very bad influence. No! I'm kidding. Please take math seriously. I never did, and it's been done nothing but bite me in the ass. So take math seriously, even if you hate it and you don't think you're good. There are resources out there to help you with math. Take them. Do not let it pile up on you in college. Don't let it happen. Just take it seriously. Also, you're a freshman taking Algebra 2? Dude, you're way smarter than I was. I got a D in geometry, and that's as far as I ever got. I'm not a math brain. I am a writer art brain. Those two brains are actually not mutually exclusive. You can be both creatively talented and extremely good at math. It wasn't. Well, the thing is that you can always be good at something if you try to be good at something, but I was discouraged because I wasn't immediately good at math, so I never attempted to get any better at math, so I had like the fixed mindset of, I'm not a math person, I'm not good at math, I'm not even gonna try. And then I failed because I wasn't trying, and even if it doesn't innately come to you, it just means that it's going to take a little extra effort, and you shouldn't quit at something just because you're not initially good at it. It's like I found success with writing right away. I took a couple of form classes, but not really. People message me all the time and say my stuff is structured like a novel, and it's just kind of something that came inherently to me. And I don't know if I would have aspirations to be an author if it didn't come inherently to me. So what I mean is, you can always be good at something if you decide to be good at something, and if you put in the effort to be good at something. Just because you're not immediately good at it is not a good enough reason not to do it. Just get it done. Advice time with Pilot. You can always be good at something if you decide to be. Effort is what pushes forward things in life. Effort is what you need to put in. Anything can be accomplished if you try. Never give up because it didn't come naturally to you. There once was a man who played baseball. He was a prodigy in the sport. People kept saying, look at this guy, he's gonna rise to the top. Look at him, he's so naturally fantastic. He's so fit and he's so strong, he can pitch 100 miles an hour. He can hit home runs out of the park. But guess what? He didn't go anywhere, because as soon as he went into the major leagues, he started to struggle. And he had never had to try before. He'd never had that structure. He'd never had to put the effort in, so he felt like a failure. He instantly gave up because he'd never had to try before, and as soon as people started outpacing him, he lost. But if he had just buckled down and decided to try with someone with so much natural talent, he could have been the guy. But you know what? He wasn't, because he didn't put the effort in. And the people who started out as nothing, who started throwing underhanded softballs, who didn't think that they could ever be a baseball star, Now they have these contracts that no one can even fathom. So remember that effort always trumps natural ability. Always 100% of the time, with zero exceptions. You see these kids who can paint a masterpiece, but I guarantee you that effort always 100% of the time, guaranteed, no exceptions, trumps natural unstructured talent. This is a really open space. Really open spaces make me nervous. Oh, isn't this where all the... how do I get out of here? What is the correct way? Which way do I go? I do not know the correct answers. I do not know the correct answers to the questions that you are asking me. Give a math next year, make things that I want, but I hear this is a bad idea. Dude, yes it is! 'Cause that's what I did. And trust me, it's a mistake. Get as far ahead in math as you can. Never stop. Always take it. I mean, maybe, just fuck off for your senior year. Like, don't do it your senior year. But for the first 3 years of high school, take math. Do it. Trust me. You will not regret it. Just do it. It might suck. Trust me, it's worse to try and do it. Okay, think about it this way. Do you want to take these math classes where you're guaranteed to get into the class and where you don't have to pay for it? Or would you rather still have to take those math classes and then have to fight to get into them and, like, struggle to get into those classes at all? Maybe you'll be trying for like a year and a half to get into this class, and then you have to pay $300 to be in the class, and then you have to pay $300 for a textbook. Your choice. Take it in high school. Was taking AP Calc in high school. I only need 3 credits, but I take school advice seriously. I know, like, it's just, if you intend to go to college, if you intend to get a degree, you have to take your general education, and math is a part of your general education. It doesn't matter if the degree you're pursuing has anything to do with that. If you want to get your associate's degree, which you need to get the degree that you want, almost guaranteed. I mean, I guess you can not get the associate's degree, but it helps you make more money. And as long as you even have 1 degree, an associate's degree is a degree, and it makes you hireable for an additional 25% of jobs that are out there. Fucking guaranteed. You can apply for that set of jobs because you have an associate's degree. I'm getting poisoned everywhere. So to get your associate's degree, you have to complete your general education, and math is a part of your general education. If you already qualify, passed all those math classes, then you do not need to take math classes to meet the credit requirement for the associate's degree, because you already qualified out of doing it. So you can spend more time taking classes that you actually would like to take, like fucking take photography or some shit, anything that's transferable. Make sure you check and see if it's goodbye. Make sure you check and find out if it's transferable credits for whatever class you're taking in college. I can get my AA degree before I graduate. Okay, then do that. Please do that, because even having 1 degree means you make more money automatically. Yeah, try and get your AA degree before you graduate. It's a good plan. But it's just, math is the bane of my existence because everybody slacks off in math. Everybody does. So everybody, especially in community college, I don't know if this will necessarily be your problem if you go to like a better college, but I'm in a community college, and it's just, believe me, man, believe me, everybody slacked off. So everybody is fighting for these math classes. Getting into math classes is this hyper-competitive thing. And it's incredibly frustrating because 75% of the class will drop by the time the class concludes. So you know that there's all these empty seats just waiting. But all those people who you know are going to drop within the week still have to get the class, so they're still in it. So they still block you out. So it's really frustrating because you know that you are actually going to take it and you're going to focus and you're going to take it seriously, and you know that all these other people aren't, but that doesn't fucking matter because those people still have the right to fight for those classes. And they will. And it will be a complete pain in your ass. Guaranteed. Because you're not going to be able to get the classes that you need. So trust me, you're going to be wasting a lot of time and slowing down, and you cannot leave or transfer or do anything that you wanted to do until you beat that. So who knows? You could extend your fucking stay before you can transfer out, or before you can get your degree or finish your general education or whatever, by an additional 2 or 3 fucking semesters. So, like, if you have math brain and you can do it now. Do it. Because, trust me, it sucks. And it ain't good. I just hate working hard for things that I don't want. So that's why I'm okay. I totally understand that. Because that's how people work. It's like how people are. It's the same thing. Why should I work really hard in something that doesn't interest me? Or that I don't care about? And the answer is that people don't. People don't work hard at things that they don't care about, which is why they fail. But the be-all, end-all, you need to pass the class. So, do you want to take it a couple of times? And pay for it a couple of times, and be in it a couple of times? The college does not hold your hand. I don't care what college you go to. Maybe a private school. Maybe. But, like, I've never heard of it. They don't hold your hand, and they will not check up with you. Why are you missing these assignments? And they will not check up with you. Hey, you seem to be struggling with this type of problem or this type of thing. Here are some suggestions for tutoring or whatever. Let me help you. Like, yeah, your professor might have class hours or whatever, but they don't hold your hand. The problem is yours. You need to pay for your own tutoring, and you need to go to your own guidance thing, and you need to go to the success centers, and you need to go to the thing, and you're paying for all of it. All of it. So, it is easiest to struggle through the hardest of things in an environment where in high school, where they're asking you where your assignments are, where you have the counselors and where you have the support system built in that inherently makes it easier for you to succeed in these difficult courses. So, it is my advice. I know that the temptation is there to not take those courses. But working as hard as you can in an environment where it is free and provided for you is the best option. Guaranteed. Okay, that doesn't go anywhere, so I need to get back. Okay. This was just for the items. It can be fucking soul crushing to have to work really fucking hard for shit you don't give a shit about. Trust me. I know. I am not a good student. I'm not. I will fucking reveal some shit to you. I am in a guidance class. That is the only class I'm taking this semester. And the reason I'm taking it is because I'm on academic probation. Because I have failed more classes than I have passed. Which means that I'm on academic probation. And in order for me to get off of academic probation, I have to take this guidance class, which is, they teach you how to do college. They teach you, good study habits and shit. And they also, like, teach you, it's like, so far the class, as I understand it, it's also teaching you a bunch of shit about yourself. And it's like, why has this been a problem for you? And what have you done to aggravate or extend this problem? And it's like one of the first things they teach you is that the result you have, it's like the fact that you're on academic probation is nobody's fault but yourself. You can't blame other people or the classes or the system or whatever, or your situation or your job or the fact that you have 2 kids and you're working a full-time job. It's like, I mean, that kind of stuff, yes. I mean, it does play into it. But in my case, the only reason I fucked up is just because I fucked up. It's just I did that. And so, you learn, my result is in line with my actions. The result I have gotten, and I did everything to get the result that I have. So why should I expect if I continue doing the same action, should I get a different result? And the answer is you don't, and you never get a different result. You only get the same result, which is you keep failing the classes. You keep thinking, oh, I'll do whatever, like, I'll do my homework more, but you don't, because you never have. And you're like, I'll go to bed earlier, and you don't, because you never have. Just too much for my anxious... But, you've never done it, you've never been on top of it, you know, it's this thing. And so, the guidance class is about changing inherently those habits that you have to hopefully make you a successful student, or a more successful student, or at the very least, make you aware of what problems you have that were making this harder for you. They make you aware of it, just so you know how to combat it. You learn more about yourself and about what you should be doing and what's the best strategy. And it's like a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, which is like a fixed mindset about math, for example, would be, I'm not a math person, I'm not good at math. I'm an art person, I'm a writer. I'm not a math person, I'm not a math brain, I never have been. Which is honestly what my mindset is, like 80 billion% of the time. I'll just finish this thought before I go in. But a growth mindset would be, I have never succeeded in math up to this point. So what are my strategies to improve that, so that way I can succeed in math? Because the only thing that can keep you from doing anything is effort. How hard are you willing to try to be good at math? If I put in a shit ton of effort and I went to the success centers and I went to the math center and I did all the holy shit, what the fuck is that? So I'm totally going to forget what I was talking about. So somebody please note down what I was just saying, so that way I can continue my conversation as soon as I'm done. No! 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 I was doing so well! Okay, asshole, where's my souls? Worth it, worth it, worth it, just push, just push, just push! Yeah! Gonna take some antidote. Yeah! Fucking nice. Like I said, effort trumps. It wins. Effort wins. If you put in the effort, you will get the result. College isn't like high school. It's not. In a lot of ways, it's way better, because you have a lot more freedom and free reign, and it is not nearly as structured, and that can feel freeing. However, you also need to bear in mind that there is not as much structure. I mean, you have to be proactive. You do. You have to be proactive about the results that you want, the things that you want, your goals, the degrees that you're going for, how much time you want to be in whatever school you're in. If you go to a community college before you transfer into a 4-year or a UC, which is a much cheaper alternative than going direct, do your general education at a community college and then transferring to a I say UC, you probably don't live in California, but a state school. And how long do you want to be there? You have to be proactive, because there are systems in place that can help you. I know the thing that is helping me out a lot right now is a system in place called Open Doors, which is they help people who are on academic probation get off of academic probation. They don't just say, you need to leave the school. They're the only reason I've been allowed to stay, because I signed up and I said, I am going to go to guidance and I'm going to do the thing. Please let me stay at the school. And they're like, yeah, okay. I got lazy and I didn't do all the work, because when you get lazy and you start procrastinating and things, you think, at first it starts with, how long can I wait until I do this thing? But then it progresses to the point where you're like, how many things can I not do before I fail the class? And that's kind of like the final stage, where it's like, how many assignments can I miss before I have less than a C? And you can't let yourself think like that. You cannot get there. You can't, because a C might be passing, you gotta think about your GPA. If you're trying to transfer, for fuck's sake, like, you have to think of your GPA and the scoring. The way that scoring works is that an F is a 0, a D is like 1, B is 2. It's like B plus, B minus, it's like kind of fun, and an A is a 4. And then if you average all of those together, all of the grades that you've gotten and the percentages, you get your GPA, which is like a average high GPA would be like 2.95, whatever. A good GPA would be 3.0 GPA. That's good. 4.0 GPA is all A's all the time. You're super smart. You're super great. And if you have a 4.0 GPA, you can transfer basically anywhere you want to, considering like what classes you've taken. Some classes, I mean, some colleges are really picky about what's on your transcript, so you do have to bear that in mind. Know what the college is looking for, at least for your specific degree that you're going for. But I fucked around. I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of things wrong. Absolutely. But there are things in place. There are things in place that can help you, but you have to go. You've got to wake up early, and you've got to get on the bus, and you've got to go, and you got to find the parking, and you got to do the thing. And you have to walk in, and you know you don't want to talk to them because you have anxiety. I do. I have anxiety. Like, you don't want to talk to them. You have to get the thing. You have to make your appointment. You have to go. You have to talk to the guy. And then I'm signing away an additional 3 hours of my life to math, which is a subject I fucking hate. So I'm like, I already have to go to the classes, and now I'm signing up willingly for extra time to be doing math? Are you kidding me? But if that's what I have to do in order to pass the class, then that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. You get the results that you put the effort in for. And if I know that I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage with math because I'm not good at math, then I have to put in that much more effort to get the result that I want. And you might be like, that sucks! And you get frustrated and you want to be lazy and you don't want to do the thing, but you gotta do it. You have to, or you're not going to get the result that you need. It's just that simple. You put in the effort to get the result that the effort equates to. I mean, that's just what's happening. So the benefit of doing as many general education, look into, specifically this is advice is going to Wishfulina, look into what you're doing and what degrees you want and what sort of thing. General education is typically the same, but I don't know what it is in your area or in your schools that you would be going to or whatever. Check the general education and what it means. Taking as many difficult AP courses or whatever as you can to learn as much as you can about these things in high school is beneficial to you because it's an extremely structured environment. You're on your ass. You didn't turn in your homework. It's on your fucking School Loop. Do people still use School Loop? It's on the website. A lot of districts have websites. I don't know. I'm not dated myself saying School Loop, but Moodle. I think this is the new thing. They're on your ass. They want to know you got the attention. And you have Saturday school, and you have to be like, fuck. If you don't go, it's worse. And you have to go because it's like, it sucks because in high school, you are not in control of your own destiny. You're not. You are at the whim of the people that you were dependent upon. Probably your parents. I don't know your situation. But, you're kind of caught in the wind, yo. About what the fuck you need to be doing. And, but when it has that much structure, for somebody who already struggles, get those, you don't have to take placement tests. Correct! You do not have to take placement tests. And you're already that far ahead on your general education. Because they're already like, oh, she knows what she's talking about. Like, she knows, like, they know what they're doing, is what I mean. So, in the end, my advice is, do not take the structured format you are being presented with for granted, because when you are left to your own devices, if you do not have these good study habits that AP classes and stuff like that can give you, if you don't already have those things, you're going to struggle, like, a lot. And I did, definitely, because I have never developed good study habits, ever, ever, ever. Because I've always been praised for that which I had. I've always been praised for things that I never really had to try that hard at. I've always been praised for, it's like, you're an excellent writer. People have for a long time, people have told me, you have an excellent vocabulary. It's very eloquently stated. It's beautifully written. And I'm just like, thank you. And I never tried that hard. I never had to. My mom was a librarian. I read books as soon as I fucking was capable of learning how to read. And I read hundreds of books, and I was in summer reading clubs and stuff. That's probably one of the greatest services my mom ever did for me. She put me in summer reading programs every single summer. And I know I hated them, but the house was always filled with books, and it was always all this shit. And we was always going to reading programs because she was a librarian, so I was in the library all the fucking time. But it made me an excellent writer because I had all these examples to look back upon. But I was always praised for these things that, in my opinion, I never had to try terribly hard at. Like, you guys love my fics and stuff. And I post those as soon as they're done. Zero editing. I promise you. That's why there's mistakes all the time, because I just go, and most of it, not so much recently, because I've been really struggling with writing The Weight of Jade in particular. But most of the time, a chapter is written in a single sitting. Like, all of Paw Problems, all of Rainy Days, all of Secret Santa, all of those stories was written in a single sitting, because it just went, no planning ahead, no nothing. I'm like, blah, 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 post. And then I'd be like, I'm tired. And then I go to bed. And I wake up the next day, be like, blah, 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 post. And people go, this is amazing. You're amazing. You must have this all so scripted out. It's so great. It's just so awesome. And I'm like, thank you very much. I did not. And it's like, it sounds so shitty for me to say, I didn't try that hard. It sounds awful. But it's just like, it's something that came incredibly naturally to me. And I've always been praised for the things that came incredibly naturally to me. And I have always utterly failed at the things that didn't. And that is a shortcoming about me personally, because I didn't want to put the effort in to do the things that I wasn't good at to become good at those things, because I wasn't encouraged for them or whatever, and I didn't feel good about those things. So I'm like, fuck that, I'm just gonna write. The reason I failed all my fucking math classes, even in college, is because I'm fucking writing through them. I'm writing through my math classes. Well, you shouldn't be doing that. That's what I was doing. I had a notebook out. Instead of focusing on my math and doing what I was supposed to, I was writing. I was writing stories, my own little personal stories, writing little fan fictions, doing whatever. Because those are the things I love doing and enjoy doing. And those are the things I was naturally good at and I didn't have to put effort into. It's also that kind of that way with art, but I try really hard with art. I've been putting in a lot of effort for that, and it's shown, and I've really improved, and I'm proud of myself for that. Fucking what? Indiana, do not sit on that. I wasted a lot of my bullets just then. So, even if you have a more natural disposition to be lazy and to put it off and not want to do the things, you can't afford to do that to yourself just because you put the effort in, you get the results you need, and it might not be fun, but you will get the results that you need. I'm terrible at writing, but I love science, and I keep looking up facts about flowers, not English. Yeah, it's like, that's the way it is. You naturally gravitate towards the things you enjoy, and you more naturally enjoy the things you're naturally good at, because you're good at them, and you've been praised with them, and you have a lot of positive associations with the things that came naturally to you, because you always did well on them. So you enjoy them, so you spend your free time doing those things, and getting even better at them, and like learning. I've gotten way better at writing through writing, ever. And so, even though technically I wasn't even putting in the effort, I've been improving and doing a lot of things. So, my suggestion to you is try your best to buckle down and do the things, but at the same time, counter advice, do not beat yourself up. Do not criticize yourself far too much for struggling. Every single human being is entitled to struggle. And even if it isn't terribly easy, the more effort you put in, the easier it will be, and the better your results will be. And the end result is always worth the struggle. Always, 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 always. As soon as you have your degree, you look back and be like, I fucking did it. Even with all the bullshit, I nailed that shit. And you did it because you kick ass. And you did it and you tried really hard. And you put in a fuck ton of effort. And so develop the study habits. Look into it. It might seem kind of weird, like getting a self-help book or whatever. Fucking get the study habits. Learn how to take notes super effectively. Do all the shit. Like, fucking get it done. You can do it. It might suck, and it might be really hard, and you might not be good at it at first, but fuck that shit. You are going to kick its ass, and you are going to do it, and you are going to get your end result. And you can also continue developing the things that you're good at already, and that you enjoy doing, and that you find pleasure in. You do not need to compromise that which you love for that which you wish to gain. So, there you go. You can do all the shit you love, and you can succeed at the same time. It might not seem like it, but just put in the effort, and you will get the result. That is the end. That is the end of my rant. I need to end because people are coming home. I need to clean up. So, thank you everybody for tuning in to me fucking giving advice about college. And shit. Thank you for listening. This was a really fun stream. This one was long. So, alright, I'm gonna sign off. I love you guys. And I will see you all next time.